I wanted to share this story with you this week of something that happened to me over the weekend. And I think it will give you a lot of perspective, not only for your week, but if anything happens in your week that may want to change your overall mood that you may be feeling. And I hope that you're starting the week with the most joyous and most active and most high momentum mood that you can muster up for the week or the day, depending on how you're feeling. As you know, I've been working on my classical spin for skating, and I don't really come from a background of skating, but when I set my mind on doing something, I like to pursue it and take the steps to do it. If I need to get a piece of equipment, then I'll do that. I'll invest as much as possible into accomplishing that particular goal. So the one goal that I had set out was to do a classic spin without falling, and not to be a figure skater at the highest level or anything like that, but just to have the foundation to be able to do it without falling and to stick. So I'll share more on that. But so I went to the rink one final time, or I thought I had about 2 more weeks to go to the rink. I went to the rink. Come to find out, the weather was so beautiful that the ice melted. So I also thought about, okay, what was the next activity that I had on my list of something that I would do over the summer season, in addition to running with the run club and running and any other Pilates or any other activities I do. Okay, so to speed up the story, I decided that I was going to purchase a bike. And I seen it in the catalog. I seen the bike that I would probably get, and I thought about it for a while. The thing about me is I could know I'm gonna do something and take maybe like 2 months, 3 months, 5 months until I get that go, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. And then when I get that idea, I take immediate action and I get it done. So I go to the store to go and get the specs on the bike and to check it out so that I could eventually make a purchase. But one of the bikes are really, really high, and one of the bikes are on the second shelf. So it will require someone having to pull both of the bikes for me to sit on it, test it out, and see how it feels. So it must have been the ending of the shift at this particular store because when the two colleagues got together, looked at me, looked at the work that they were going to do, they threw a fit, and I mean a fit. So the guy starts to scan the thing, and he starts looking back at the woman. They start coming up with ideas about why they can't take the bike, asking me, is the bike for me? Is it for this? All these investigative report questions. So I say, these are the two that I like. Can you pull them down, because these are the two that I like to see? And they were coming up with every reason as to why I could not check out the bike or make a purchase. So when I started to realize, it was just going into a negative space, and it wasn't really going to produce the results that I wanted, which is I came for a bike, so that's what I came for. And they came for an argument, and that's not what they were going to get. So they went on to proceed into telling me that I was being hostile and I was being racial towards them, and out of nowhere popped up a security guard. So the security guard pops out of a corner, a shoe, a skate. I don't know where this guy popped out of, but they're like, now they're going to escort me out of the store. And this was after I gave her a solution about what we could do, which I told her, you don't have to pull the bikes, pull a similar bike off the rack. As long as I can feel it and know the specs, I can compare it. So she got really angry, and she said she's going to kick me out of the store. So true to my nature, when I see someone formulating an environment to place me in, I will always let them do most of the work and do most of the work so that they can position themselves in the same negative environment that they were trying to produce for me, and they will end up in it. So the lady tells me I have to go. The security comes to walk me out of the store. The guy tells me he can no longer get my bike, and they're not going to do anything for me. And they say they have to leave me. I say, you're not going to walk me out. I'm going to walk myself out of the store. You're not going to touch me, and you're not going to do anything like that, but I will walk myself out of the store. So I go to walk myself out of the store, and I get met by another guy who is the loss prevention guy. So the loss prevention guy is, what's going on? So he tells me the story. So I tell him the story, and then after he's like, oh, okay, like, that's weird, but whatever. And then he says, I have to leave. But I say, yeah, I'm going to go. And so the security guard not only wanted to walk me out of the store, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to go. Don't worry about it. And he now goes to proceed under his breath, like, I can show you a better way. You should take this way to go. You want to take your walk. So he's like, and I just look at him like, control the wind, control the fly. So I just look at him like, not today, not tomorrow, probably not next week, not the next day. So the loss prevention guy lets me out of this place, lets me out. I thank him. He thanks me. Thank you, sir. He thanks me. Okay, bye. And the security guard, I tell him, you might want to calm down a little bit. I know it's your job and everything, but you might want to relax. Like, if I was going to leave, then that was it. So the moral of the story is I left the store, no arguments. I didn't give them any juice, any sauce, any momentum. And I took that and I went to another location. Now, when I went to the next location, the bikes were laid out perfectly on the ground floor. It gave me 3 options that I could choose from. And the piece de resistance is that the bike was less $30, okay? So I ended up paying less $30 for the bike. Okay, so the moral of the story is this. Sometimes you can punch air, argue with people to force yourself into situations that are not for you. Okay, and you are going to get an indication of it. And it's not about people just doing this so you go away or you don't, you'll know. In that situation, the best thing for me to do was to use my analytical mind and say, well, I came here for a bike, so I'm going to leave with a bike. I'm going to leave with a bike. But I didn't come for an argument, so I wasn't going to put myself into that script. So sometimes people will curate an environment for you to fail, or create an environment for you to lash out, create an environment for you to do just about anything that they would like to see you do or accustomed to seeing being done. But in that situation, as I said for myself for 2025, is going to move on more of an analytical, still very invested in things that I'm doing, but more analytically, and then taking that into my daily lifestyle. So I left the store, drove about 3K, got a great bike, and was able to got a great bike and was able to get it for less. And it was all laid out for me when I walked into the store, everything. So what I wanted, the one goal was the same. The location was different, and it didn't require me having to get out of my character to accommodate someone else's. So I hope that brings some kinds of a kind of idea towards you before you think about how you want to respond to any particular situations that are there for you for any particular reason. And you listen to scripture and you hear about it, and it says when God prepares a table for you, it really means that even though the table is being prepared for you, you still got to move. You still got to, if I didn't go to the other location to get what I wanted, I would have fell into a script of arguing with those people. And I don't have any words to say. I don't know that script. I can't fulfill it. So I hope that all has some meaning for you, to take that minute to think, or before you respond to something, and to evaluate a situation to see what it's really set or designed or orchestrated in your life to do, because that will be able to allow you to not shift your mood out and not to get caught up in things that are not necessarily for you. So I hope you have a great day, professionals, and as always, I'll check in with you soon. Take care.